Hey everybody, this is Shane with the Trek Health 365 program. This week I want to talk about how do we plan for success when it comes to our exercise. How often have you said or thought, I just don't have time for exercise? If you're like a lot of people, probably more often than you would like. So I want to talk about some tips on how we can make sure it gets into our everyday life and that we uphold those commitments to ourselves that we set out with. So first thing you're going to do is start with your calendar. So it can either be on your phone if it's an electronic calendar, or a paper calendar if you use a planner or something like that. Either is fine. And I want you to start by looking at what are your existing commitments for the week. So when do I work? If I work 9 to 5 every day, on your calendar, block 9 to 5 for work. What family obligations do you have each week? Is it something recurring? Is it something one-off? Make sure all of those are on there. Don't just try and remember them. Put them on there. Make sure that they have a block of time dedicated. What appointments do I have outside of work and outside of family obligations? Make sure those are on my calendar. Make sure everything is written down along with that corresponding commitment. Once you've done that, I want you to identify where the gaps are. So where are there openings in your schedule? And these openings might be different every day, and that's okay. Some days you might have availability in the morning, some days you might have availability at night. In some cases, you might have availability to take a break during the workday to do some sort of activity. It's going to vary, and that's okay. But really look and see, once you have everything else written down, all those other prior commitments, where are my gaps each day, each week, etc. So next, you're going to plan time for exercise. And I want you to go so far as writing down on each day, when you identify Monday, I have from noon to 1 available. Tuesday, I have from 3 to 5 p.m. available, whatever it might be. What type of exercise are you going to do? How long are you going to exercise for? What's the location? Is it here at Trek? Is it at home? Are you going to go outside? Are you going to travel somewhere to exercise? Are you going to go to a gym somewhere else? What are all those details? And then I want you to block that time. If you're traveling to go somewhere to do the activity, maybe you're going to the mountain bike trails or to a state park or something like that, block travel time in for yourself too, because if you only have an hour, you're not going to have a whole lot of time when you get to that place if you have to factor in travel time as well. So write all those details down in your calendar, put them on your electronic calendar or on your paper calendar, wherever it is you're keeping that information, along with everything else in your schedule. One other thing to consider, if you're going to do some outside activity, make sure you consult the weather forecast. So a lot of times this is best done at the beginning of the week. So if I'm doing my schedule for my activity once a week, maybe I sit down on Sunday night or first thing Monday morning and plan everything out. And then again, I get my phone or get on the computer or turn on the weather channel and look at what's the forecast for this week. What days are conditions going to be good to do outside activity, and what days are they not going to be good? Maybe it's supposed to be really, really hot or really, really cold or storming or something else that's going to make it not ideal to do the type of activity you want. So on those days, you can do some indoor activity. On the days where conditions are good, plan for outdoor activity. And again, looking at that schedule as to where am I going to do it? How much time do I have available on that day? What would be good to do on that day? So, think of all the different options of things that you have to do. I could do a workout at the gym. I could go for a walk outside. I could go for a bike ride. Maybe today I'm going to do home exercise if those other things aren't an option. Maybe it's the weekend and I've got a little bit more time I can spend with my family or with some friends to do some activity, and we go do something spontaneous that we didn't plan for physical activity. On those days where you're really crunched for time, you've got a super busy work schedule or a lot of family obligations, plan for shorter workouts on those days. Maybe it's I get up 30 minutes earlier in the morning and I do a 15 or 20 minute strength workout at home, and that's the activity that I get in for today. Or I get up early and take a walk, or I try and fit in some time throughout the day doing a few exercises or going for a short walk, or whatever it might be. There are going to be days like that. On days where you've got more time available, plan for those bigger bouts of exercise, a longer ride or walk, or a more substantial gym workout. So the more we know about where is my availability, the more you're going to have the opportunity to fit things in on each of those days. And be prepared for circumstances to change. A work obligation changes, a family obligation changes, other things will pop up. When that happens, don't just scrap the day. Don't just say, oh, this came up today, so now I can't be physically active. That's almost never going to be the case if you're really trying to fit in activity somewhere. You may instead have to say, well, instead of planning that 60-minute bike ride that I was going to do, today I'm going to do a 10-minute walk in the morning and a 10-minute walk at lunch, because that's all I can fit in with this other obligation that's popped up. Or instead, I'm going to do a quick strength workout, or I'm going to do these 5 exercises at some point throughout the day so that I'm getting in something. And then I'm going to say, well, I didn't get my 60-minute bike ride in today. What day can I do that instead? So that bike ride still happens, but maybe it's on a different day. Or maybe I just swap workouts, a shorter workout that I was going to do on a different day for the one that I was going to do today on that corresponding day. So how do I figure all this out from what my original plan was to what the circumstances are now? So, if we only exercise when we have the time, more often than not, it doesn't happen. We really need to plan our work and then work our plan. And when you do this, you're going to achieve your goals much faster, and you're going to feel really good about taking meaningful action.